Greetings. This is really a personal video for people that I know that tell me they know nothing about Linux. If you are familiar with Linux, you'll get more information on the various channels around the place. I have put a couple of these in description that I use that I find to be very reliable. With Linux, it is very highly configurable, so you can do a lot to just suit your own individual taste. And that's what you're seeing right here. The background you see at the moment is from the Northern homestay in Western Australia, and I'll put a link there to their website. It's worth having a look at some of the gorgeous pictures around there, and of course you're most welcome to go there for a visit. As I said, the configuration of the appearance, this is something called Conky. It's just one of the many widgets that you can put up there. Here we have what they call a desklet. There's all sorts of desklets. You can add them simply right-clicking. This is what I like about this system, is it's very familiar. You want to do a right-click. You've got things which are familiar, change desktop background. You've got all different pictures there. I'm certainly not going to change the background. Add desklets, and that's what we've got there. This one, by the way, the AccuWeather desklet, looks a lot better, except it shows the pressure of being about 102 millibars or hectopascals. That's what you'd probably get on Mars. Once again, these are all configurable, colours and all that sort of thing, and putting in your particular location. I think if I sat anybody in front of this who's familiar with Windows and said, "Oh, Linux," they would be able to start using it straight away without any problem. I mean, I'm sure this toolbar or panel, very much similar, very, very, very similar. The thing I will show you while we're here is the Workspaces, which Windows 10 has introduced this. Not as good as what we've got here, but they're moving along that way. And you've got, they call them virtual desktops. We call them Workspaces. I set it up with a particular routine. I've got Thunderbird for my email client, which is open practically all the time on the first one. On the second one, I've got Google Chrome. I do have Firefox loaded as well, but the reason I'm using Google Chrome is because of Flash. Flash, if you don't know, is unsafe. They try to keep up with it, but it's unsafe. We're no need to be using it these days, but unfortunately many sites have never bothered to change. Google has its own inbuilt one, which from all what I've read is a lot safer to use. Okay, now we're going to have a look very quickly at some of the applications that I've got here, which I think are particularly good. So let's go through them. Games, you can see that I'm not a great games player. There's only one there, don't worry about this one. And that's the PySol, which people would be familiar with. Now, graphics. GIMP has been a long standard for Linux. It's available on Windows and OS X. We now got something which they're calling GIMP Shop. Now, I don't quite know about this. Certainly the Windows one downloads as GIMP Shop. I only did this last night, but they're ideal now. Have we got an about there? Yes. The same as GIMP Shop. But if you're running Windows and you'd like to look at this and get something that's like Photoshop, but can't afford to pay for it, it's worth looking at. So this bit unstable development version, this really means is the Linux and Unix way of saying it's a beta version. All right. Now, one of my favourites is this one, Shotwell. Unfortunately, you can only get it on Linux, and it is a photo management program that intuitively will sort out your photographs for you. You can put tags on, any number of tags you can put on, and you know, I've got things here. See, I've got one that says family history. The other one has got Crewe and South Beach and family history. It will sort out by that. It will sort by events. You can put events on there. These are more newer ones. It also imports your, I must show you this. It imports your files into some sort of order by date. I reckon this is absolutely great because trying to keep track of all these. So if we go back to something like in 2014, we had these months that I had photos from. So we had something from April, and then on April the 9th, we had these photographs there. It self-sorts them. So I think it's a wonderful program. I was prior to this using Picasa from Google. It is available on Linux, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good. I also had a look at another one called Digicam. It's certainly a lot more powerful, and it really would be great for a professional photographer who's going to get many, many more pictures and wants to do a lot more with it. But that's ones I can speak very highly for. Okay, moving on to the internet, as I said, things there which would apply to everybody would be Firefox, Google Chrome, and Thunderbird. There's a lot more browsers and things you can put in. Office, well, why would you pay money out for something like Microsoft Office when you can get something which is good, if not better, for free? This is LibreOffice 5. This is the word processor. It's you can actually change some of these themes. This is really modern, sleek-looking program. It's very solid. You can get this for other platforms such as Windows and OS X. So I would highly recommend that for an office suite. Things that you get used to, such as, now this is something, VLC Media Player, which will virtually play anything. Because Windows 10 no longer has the media center, it's gone, and if you've updated it will delete it if you've got it. The only thing I don't like is this icon. There are other skins, but I'll leave it at that for a moment. So it'll play back audio, it will do so much more. Again, you can get that for all platforms. But these are some of the essentials. Okay. Brasero here is a authoring program for CDs, DVDs. I've only used it for ISOs. I have no problem with it at all. Another one which I've got here is Caden Live. I haven't used it, but I'm going to use it because I'll need to send this video off. It's a video authoring program. All these are free. Wine allows you to run natively some Windows programs. I say some because there's a lot that it won't do, or I can't get them to work. But I try to avoid, I've only got one utility on here that's running under Wine, and that's bulk rename utility, which people aren't familiar with anyway. So that's it. We've got that. If we go into here, we need to put a password in. We've got the packet manager. And there are 73,540 packages are available. Now, there's many ways if you know what the package is, you can just put the name in, or you can search for something. Games, you got all sort of things in games. I don't know, but look. Hedge Wars, goodness knows what it's like. But I just want to show you, there's several ways. If you put in hedge, so we've got Hedge Wars. Double click, it will tell you that it's not installed. It will show you what the some description about it. To install it, just click install. And that's all you have to do. There's no registry like there is in Windows that's going to get cluttered up with everything. So you can install and uninstall as many things as you would like, and you're not going to get that slowed up feeling that you get with Windows. I've dropped the whole idea of Windows at the moment. It's just not... it's just not worth it. All right, we'll have a look at... It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Probably I shouldn't have put a game in there. It tells you it's installed. It should show up in the games. And there we go. I might have to have a look at that later. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to try Linux, all you do is have to get a disk. There's many distributions which are all different. I suggest Linux Mint if you're coming from Windows because it's just so straightforward. The two top ones are Linux Mint and Ubuntu. You've also got Manjaro is coming up well into, is based on Arch Linux. But for just trying it, you can get a live CD. The CD can be live. The people who I know who know that I'm addressing them, if you can't get one, you got slow internet. If you want to have a go at this, I can send you a couple of CDs over, and or DVDs over, and you can put them in there and have a look. It's what they call a live CD. If you're not familiar with that, that means you just put it in, boot from that CD, and you've there got a system already set up for you, which you can just try. It does run slow. You could also put it onto a DVD stick, which would be a lot quicker. But you can try those things out before you commit yourself to installing. Works extremely well. Linux works extremely well where you've got limited resources like an old machine. Absolutely great for those old Windows XT laptops and other machines. As I said, it doesn't need much resources. Some of the newer ones do, and I did see a review on the new Ubuntu 15.5, I think it was. Yeah, it should be 15.10, shouldn't it? Anyway, the latest version on there was a review on that. It was using 1 gigabyte of memory. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, you look around the YouTube yourself for all these other things. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and leave a comment, but perhaps not too much flaming. Okay then, bye-bye.